Here's what happened round 5 of the FIA Motocross World Championship, the Monster Energy MXGP of Trentino. Camden McClellan in MX2 Race One swept across the Foxhole shot line for the first time in his career, and for the first time this year, therefore. Behind him, Valerio Latta, Andrea Adamo. As we headed uphill, just behind them, Liam Everts was in there well placed, and a couple of riders further back was Kai de Wolf. Adamo jumped into second with that move on Latta. Everts came through, so too did de Wolf. They were up to third and fourth, and then Latta down to fifth. And with about about 6 laps to go, something like that, de Wolf got the better of Everts as he moved into third, and then third of a lap to go. De Wolf up the inside of Adamo to move into second. Camden McClellan, though, went on to win race 1, his first in MX2 and the first for triumph in the World Championship. De Wolf was second, Adamo third, Everts and Latta rounded out the top 5. In MX2 Race 2, no electric start this time for the number 8. Instead, it was the 2 Red Bull KTMs of Sascha Koenen and Simon Langenfelder. The Belgian getting the nod for the 4th time this year, though, Sascha Koenen. Elzinga came to a stop in the first turn. He would eventually get through to 9th by the time the checkered flag fell. But it was Sascha Koenen who led the way. Adamo was quickly into second, Langenfelder third. The 2 Husqvarnas came together. That was Everts on the deck. He could not rejoin the race. He started the race second in the championship, 10 behind de Wolf. That all changed. And so did the lead when Sascha Koenen lost the back, lost the front on lap 3. He went out of the lead, picked himself up in 8th, would eventually finish in 7th on the Red Bull KTM. Camden McClellan hit neutral here, whilst in 4th position. He remounted in 24th, a little bit injured, but he did regroup for 16th, but it did cost him the overall Grand Prix, or even a step on the podium. The final lap, Thibaut Beneston capitalised on a mistake there from Andrea Adamo in that turn to take over the lead. He crossed the line on his Monster Energy Yamaha to take his first win of the season. Adamo was second, Langenfelder third, but for Adamo, his second overall success here in Trentino, going 3-2 for the win. De Wolf second with a second and a fourth. Beneston a 12-1, getting him on the podium. The overall championship, De Wolf now 12 clear of Langenfelder, Adamo 6 further back, Everts dropping down to 4th this weekend. But your podium here, Andrea Adamo, Kai de Wolf, Thibaut Beneston. But the championship leader's red plate still belongs in the hands of Kai de Wolf. Next stop, Switzerland, 1 week's time.
It was a solid day. It was a bummer that I couldn't win the second moto because I led all moto. I put a solid gap, but the last 2 laps, with the lappers was really difficult. And there was one guy that was standing by in front of me and even wanted to do some battles. But anyway.
After winning the qualifying race, Roman Fevre in no mood for hanging around. He grabbed the Foxhole shot, his first of the season, on a number 3 Kawasaki. Glenn Koldenoff alongside him. But it was Maxime Renault who was down there in second in the first couple of corners in blue. Koldenoff, though, slipped up the inside. Geiser went with him into third. By the time we got to the next right-hand turn, there was a slight bubble here for Koldenoff. Geiser quickly into second. Lucas Koenen, Jeremy Seewer and Tony Cairoli well placed as well. Cairoli in 8th. As the race went on, Lucas Koenen got the better of Koldenoff. That was on lap 6 to move into third. But with 5 to go, Fevre left the door wide open. Geiser didn't need a second invite. Geiser then took over the lead. And it was Tim Geiser who went on to win the race, his 5th win of the season. Roman Fevre was second, Lucas Koenen third, Maxime Renault 4th, and Glenn Koldenoff 5th. Behind them we had Jeremy Seewer, Ruben Fernandez, Calvin Villanoren, Jan Panzer and Jeffrey Hurlings placing in 10th. MXGP Race 2, this time it was Glenn Koldenoff from the middle who swept across everybody for his second Foxhole shot of the campaign. Roman Fevre buried in around just inside the top 10 as the 2 Hondas Fernandez and Geiser were there in the top 3 positions. Jeremy Seewer went down at turn 1 on the Ducati. He would not score points after picking himself up. At the head of the field, though, on the opening lap, Geiser quick to dispose of his teammate Fernandez. Koldenhoff was there in third, but a rider on a charge after sitting patiently in sixth position for the first 3 or 4 laps was Romain Fevre. Moved past Maxime Renault to move into fifth. Meanwhile, Lucas Koenen moved past Glenn Koldenhoff into third, but a couple of laps later he lost the front end going after Fernandez. He picked himself up in sixth. That's where Koenen would finish. That opened the door then for Romain Fevre to put in a charge, because he found his way past Koldenhoff and then Fernandez to move into second on lap 12 of 18. Koldenhoff at this point of the race was down in fourth and off the podium, which Fernandez was occupying the third step. That pass though changed all of that. Koldenhoff up to third and on the podium. Tim Geiser crossed the line to win for the 6th time this year. Fevre second, Glenn Koldenhoff third, Ruben Fernandez and Horgmo rounding out the top 5 there, but Geiser going 1-1, his 6th Grand Prix victory here in Trentino. Fevre second, Koldenhoff third. The wait for Kawasaki goes on here at Trentino. Tim Geiser 39 points clear of Fevre, Hoff 39 behind Fevre as we go to Switzerland 1 weekend from now. But what a day here in Trentino. What a weekend at the Monster Energy MXGP of Trentino. Tim Geiser on the top step. Tim Geiser continues to lead the championship as we head to Switzerland. Round 6.
You know, it was 2 really good motos. I really know that I had to take a good start because it was not easy to pass on this track, already knowing that from the past. But also today there was not a lot of lines. You had to be more aggressive than usual if you wanted to make a pass.